Hey, Coach, I got a question for you. What does the wick to the upside mean? Hey, Coach, I got a question. Hey, Coach, I got a question for you. What does the wick to the upside mean, and what does the wick to the downside mean on a green candle?
Okay, well, just remember, if it's green, it just means it closed out more buyers than sellers. If it closes out red, it just means more sellers than buyers at the end. That's all it means. Where it started and where it stopped was either green to above it or red to below it.
So the green candle with the wick above it means buyers have not filled their order?
No, all it means is wherever it opened, it pushed up higher than it was, and then it just breathed back. So you had sellers come in at the very end, but there's still more buyers than sellers on that candle.
So the sellers are the red.
If it's a red candle, it means it closed lower than where it started. That's all it means.
Sellers are the wick of the green candle.
Correct. It just means it got pushed down right by the sellers. That's all.
Got it.
Yep.
So the
Right?
color is basically telling you what it did,
Correct.
not what it's going to do.
That is correct. Which sometimes can be an indication of where it's going to go, but that's where you start looking at like engulfing candles. And was there 3 in a row, right? Three
Right.
soldiers, 3 crows, meaning up or down. Like you start to look at what is it doing? Why did it do? You know, the doji or a morning star, right? It'll kind of give you a little bit of why and what.
Coach, I got a quick question.
Yes, go ahead.
When you're scalping, do you usually enter at the market and also sell at the market?
That's a great question. So if I'm doing options, I will use the turbo trader and it'll have that offset. If I'm doing futures, I don't have a problem with market. If I'm doing options, I always buy and sell at limit. The only time I ever sell at market is if it's bleeding out, I can't get out of it. The limit keeps failing. I can't, like it's not working. Then and only then will I take a bigger L by selling at market. But I always buy limit and I always sell limit using the offset with the turbo trader.
May I ask what's the offset that you have in
0.15.
Got it. Okay. When I try to do limit, I usually don't get filled in and I have to buy at the market and sell at the market.
Yeah, and that'll really blow you up. Try 0.15. It's actually good even with SPY. 0.2 on the high end, right? Yeah, and if I have to buy it at market, I usually don't want to do that. I have in the past, but the fills are so terrible, right?
You have entered the aftermarket. AmericanDreamTrading.com. Welcome. You are now in the aftermarket. Welcome everybody to the Aftermarket Live Chat and Watch Party. I'm your host Dawn, aka J&J Video Reacts, and this is a stream that's been created for you to be able to come and chit chat after the market ends and just kind of decompress. It's a show that we've created based on the teachings of Chad W. Christian, who's a 33-year stock market vet. As you saw, he was just in that video. He is the owner and CEO of American Dream Trading. He started this back in 2021, and since then went live in August of 22, and has gained such a huge following and become the #1 fastest growing stock market education company on the planet, right? And I'm so proud to be a part of it. So we are coming to you live on not only YouTube, but Twitch, LinkedIn, Facebook, as well as I think that might be it. So, make sure you're smashing that like button. We're trying to get close to 15,000 subscribers. We're almost there. We are inching right along here, gang. Let's get this thing knocked out. 14,956. We've only got 44 to go. That's it. 44 to go, and we've hit our goal, right? So we can do this. We can knock this out. Let's do it. Tonight, we're going to talk about being transparent, about your psychology, about what's going on inside of you when you're trading, about why you're making money or why you can't seem to make money. Over the past couple nights, we've had a few traders come on here, and they have been extremely transparent, and we thank them for that. I know we had Doug on here, and we've had quite a few others. We had Ange on here last night, and she is patiently waiting backstage to come on out and talk to you guys again, giving a master class. Maria was on here sharing her screen. Both of those ladies getting after it, giving it up, talking to us about the break and hold strategy. So yes, that is what we're about. We're about focusing on these strategies. We're about staying focused and keeping our eye on the prize and learning the process of trading and becoming successful stock market traders. We don't chase call outs over here. Coach teaches us the right way. So let's bring her up. And let's get some more people on the panel so we can talk about the art of being transparent. Hey, Ange, what's up?
I can tell it's Thursday.
Yeah, it's that time, right? You wind us down.
I am dragging ass.
I get it. Okay, we got somebody else coming up. I get it, honey.
Yeah, no, I'm eager. It's Thursday. It's a great day. We're going into the weekend here pretty soon. Another full day of trading tomorrow. Just busy.
Hey, Jay. You ready for Friday?
Yeah, I am. It's graduation weekend for us. So we are ready to go. I got a few errands to run this evening and get that done before bedtime. And then, it's here. And ready or not.
You got so much stuff going on in your life. Thank you for always being such a huge part of the aftermarket.
Absolutely.
Really, because I love it, and I know everybody else that loves it and watches the replay loves the information that's given out on here, especially by you. So it's greatly appreciated. And tired and all, y'all. Okay. Yeah. She comes on here, and you know what kind of week Ange puts in, and we put in me, Mark, and a lot of we put some long hours in. Palm, Richard, all of us, right? So Maria, so it's a long week. So the fact that you still get on here, she gets on here at 4 a.m. with us in the pre-market. She's in here, and sometimes earlier than that, 3. Yeah. So it's a long day.
I mean, I'm an hour behind you, so it's an hour earlier yet.
Yeah. Yep.
And then when you don't get to bed until super late, you know, when it's that season, right? We got sports, we've got
Yep.
the whole 9 yards, you know, and things don't stop because it's bedtime. Like
Right.
you have to learn about, you have to create a balance of what works best for your schedule, which is great that you're talking about being transparent, because I feel like, well, before I get into that, Jay, how's it going?
Are you there, Jay? Is your mic working? Everything good?
I don't recognize that name.
I don't either.
New person?
Are you? Yeah, it's got to be on the panel for sure for the first time. Are you on mute? Check your settings.
I don't
Go
see.
in,
I don't see anything in the comments or nothing.
Are you a troll? Because bring it on, baby. Somebody sneaking in, Ange, right? Well, I have to let them in, but I didn't recognize the name, so I thought, "Ooh, new person." But if you can hear us, say yes. But yeah, so until Jay gets his mic straight, it could be a woman. Who knows? Jay, you never know. The art of being transparent. It's not always easy, especially when it comes to, you know, being transparent, especially if you're losing or if you're not successful in your trading. But it's easy to be transparent when everything's going right? But when you're struggling, doesn't come so easy. So, and you know, you're another person who has put, I have done it. You have definitely done it. I remember when you first started futures and you had talked about some struggles and you were transparent. You know, that's the art of getting, you got to clean out, gang.
Absolutely.
You know, Angie and I talk about being, you know, we're vegan and we eat healthy and we clean out, we cleanse, but you have to cleanse your mind as well and your soul. And if you don't do that, and at the risk of sounding, ooh, you know, and all of that, you know, you've got to clear your chi. You got to clear all of that out, because for trading, you have to be on top of your game. And if you've got baggage, like you're bringing in from the day before trading, that's no good. So you got to learn how to be transparent and air that stuff out so that you can breathe and move forward and start with a clean slate the next day. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, I'm no stranger to, you know, Jay can only hear.
Ah, okay. Yeah. I saw the note pop up there.
I am real.
We believe you. It's just we can't hear you. Yeah, we'll work on that mic. Hang out on the panel, work on that mic. If you get it working, just do a mic check and, you know.
Gilly. Gilly's being funny.
Is Gilly here? Gilly, get your ass up here, buddy. Even if it's for a couple minutes.
Yeah, I mean, transparency is probably one of the most important things that we deal with, you know, and I've been no stranger to my own bullshit. Yeah, you don't need a camera, Jay. You know, there was a time where everything was going super great, and then suddenly it didn't, right? And you know, I retired out of my job. I transitioned to futures. I was doing lives. You know, I was dealing with stuff in my personal life. You know, all that shit was starting to spill over into everything else I was doing. So then, you know, everything was just not going well. Well, what is like the number one thing? If you can't separate the things that are going on in your day-to-day life with your trading life, it's going to spill into that. And it did. It's horrifying. Like, I almost quit. Like, I legit almost couldn't handle it. I legitimately was like, I don't know if I can do this, because it was just way too much all at once for me. Way too much. Way too much for me. But by the grace of God, I stepped back.
Yep.
Took a deep breath. I let the people know that mattered the most, you know, what was going on. And I pulled my big girl pants on and I got back on the horse and I trotted instead of galloped.
Sweet.
You know
yeah, you did. Because you're going strong now. And that's resilience.
Yeah. And you got to know what your limits are too. And I feel like we come in here, we've got young traders that are in here now that are, fresh out of school, that are coming in and wanting to learn the craft, that are ambitious and ready to go, and we got to pull the reins back a little bit and remind them, that this is a marathon, not a sprint.
That's it.
And just to take it all in and ask all the questions and just be the sponge. Be the sponge that you've always been, right? And just take it all in, because if you can be patient enough to water the garden, the fruit will grow. So it's just so important. But yeah, the transparency part, I mean, it's tough. You know how hard it is to go from being like top of your game to feeling like you've hit rock bottom. And it's not even that my trading was suffering. It was just everything else I couldn't shut off. And yeah, I mean, at some point, like you know that you are, using myself as an example, you have a skill that you're going to be able to do for the rest of your life. Why are you going to let today's circumstances decide your future?
Absolutely.
Because it doesn't have to be that way. And it took a lot of growth, and it took a lot of conversation to get me out of that space. And then when it finally did, man, it's been no holds bar ever since.
That is good. That is such a good thing, because where would we be without you today? Because you're such a huge part of this. And the fact that you even got to that point boggles my mind, because I would have never guessed that, you know. But yeah, that's huge. And the fact that you're back and you're kicking some major ass. I mean, you came back even bigger and better and stronger, right?
Oh, I definitely did, for sure.
Before, and the fact that happened, and the fact that you did bounce back from it, made you even more resilient. We thought you were disciplined before. Now it's off the chain. You know what I mean? So that'll create that. That's what, I try to tell people. I always quote Mary Tyler Moore. I sound like Ted with Warren Buffett, but she said, you can never learn to be brave if you've only had wonderful things happen to you. Right?
Absolutely.
If you only have good shit happen, how are you going to learn how to deal with the road bumps? How are you going to learn how to deal with the setbacks? You got to learn how to bounce back and come back from that stuff and realize that it's only a stepping stone to make you better. Because now, guess what? That's in your rearview mirror. You handled it. It's over. It's done. And if it ever came up again, oh, hey, I've been here before. Let's go ahead and handle this and sweep this shit under the rug and keep it moving like I did the last time. It's one more notch in your belt that you've accomplished.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, man.
It's so important, because I mean, you think, and for me, it was an excellent learning opportunity.
Yeah.
Because there was a time in my life where I would have ran. I would have ran in the opposite direction. And that was long before I ever did any personal growth. That was long before I had ever taken any time for myself to really get to know who I really am as a person.
Yeah.
I would have just packed it up and said sayonara, and I'd have found another little bullshit thing to do, because this was only supposed to be a hobby.
Yeah.
This was not supposed to be what it is. This was just supposed to be something for me to fill my time because my kids were getting older. That was it. This was nothing what it is. Nothing what it is now. I would have, if you'd have told me 3 years ago, when my oldest graduated, that I'd be a day trader, and I would be fulfilling a dream I had when I was younger, and because I couldn't do it when I was younger, and I'd be fulfilling something that ultimately has changed the trajectory of my life in so many ways. I laughed at you and been like, what? Whatever. That's bullshit.
Right.
But then fast forward, I do everything at this point, in everything that I do, and every single person that I come into contact with, I do it with gratitude. I do it with grace, and I do it with transparency. I have shitty trades. I do. I don't talk about them as often. Why? Because they're few and far between. Because I'm waiting for good setups these days. I'm not sitting here just throwing shit at a wall and hoping it sticks.
Right.
I am waiting. And in futures, if I do get in the wrong side of an EWO, I can get out and I can reset and get back in.
Or you can hit that little button that says reverse.
You can do that too. So so I just do everything with gratitude. I am grateful for every single day. I'm grateful that I get to get up in the morning and I get to log in here at the freaking butt crack of dawn every single day. I said dawn. Got it. No pun intended. And I get to serve a community. I was talking to the group this morning about, I'd come across some cool information, and it just spoke to me very deeply as to the type of person I am and how I deliver myself and how I want others not just to perceive me, but what I can give back. And everything aligns, and it blows my mind, and it's just a continued process of my own transformation. But to be able to be transparent about that too,
Right.
and within the community, because there's other people that are wondering the same thing. But it's just really great to do that. But yeah, I did. I almost quit.
I'm tripping out. I'm stuck on that, right? I'm like, huh? What?
I did. I
Dude,
wasn't on the aftermarket for months. I was not. I was not on the aftermarket for months. There was probably a 2-3 month period where I was MIA, and I was trying to figure out, for me, it was the time. It was time management. It was figuring out, okay, when can I get what I need to get done? And then how am I going to focus at the end of the day to actually do mom things, and actually feel like I can continue this, because it was not sustainable for me to be able to feel like I could be fulfilled and productive and profitable and a good leader and still learn, and now it's like, I wouldn't say it's necessarily a well-oiled machine, but it's certainly it's not squeaking.
Yeah.
Like it was.
It's not as chaotic. You're not in the figuring it out stage. And you had just retired.
Oh God. It happened all at once.
Yeah.
All at once.
So you got hit with a major life restructuring, if you will.
And you think it would have been easy, being consistent with coming in and doing day trading in the morning and then working, that I'd just been like, oh, I'll just switch it around, and just no. It was not like that at all. It was hard. I mean, it was exciting, but it was really hard. And I could remember the day that I sat here and I'm like, okay, I've got to message coach and I got to let him know that I'm struggling, and I didn't want to do it, but I knew that I had to. I knew that I had to reach out and just say, I got my white flag and I need somebody to see it. Because I can't do it. But it was the best. It was the best thing that ever happened, because I truly believe that everything now has aligned just as it has supposed to been the entire time. And I love that, and to be able to continue on and be a good part of ADT and still give back every single day to every single person within the group is it fulfills me every day.
That is awesome. That is awesome. And the funny thing is, we stop and take a look at that. Let's flip the coin for a minute, right? Because right at the onset of all of that, Mark McSee was struggling himself. And he was also dealing with coming off a couple of big losses, and you could hear it in his voice. He was really down. And I remember hearing him say, yeah, I think I'm going to try messing around with this futures. And I've got my paper trading account. I got my account set up, and I got my paper trading account. And I'm just going to go ahead and paper trade gold. What the hell? It can't hurt, right? See what this futures thing is all about. And he would come in every morning with a gold report, right? I made like $200 last night in gold. I made $500 last night in gold. I'm not going to put real money in it yet, though. But I'm going to. So then he says he funded his account like few weeks after that. And at the same time, all of the shit was kind of hitting the fan with you. Things were starting to take a turn in a different direction for him because he was getting sized on futures. And then as the trading gods, ADT gods, whatever you want to call it, would have it, you were like, okay, look, let me step back from that. And Mark said, okay, I think I can step in there and let me see what happens. I'm on a good trajectory. And now you came back full circle, got your shit together. And meanwhile, he's hit the ground running and futures turns out to be his thing. Who knew? Because if you hadn't stepped down and provided that space for him to do that, Ange, right? Think about it.
Awesome. Again, everything.
If you hadn't gone through what you went through, and he was going through, so it kind of shifted at the right time for him too. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's so weird. And then now you could come back in without the pressure and kick ass, get your scheduling straight, get your personal stuff straight, because Mark is like, hey, I'll go ahead and do this. Now you can go ahead and step back and say, hey, and that helped you get your shit back on track. Dude, that is absolutely amazing. How, and now you two are like tag teaming futures kicking ass, right?
Yeah, like it's super fun, right? So you have, Mark's kind of like my accountability buddy.
Yeah,
kind of,
Okay,
but it's
I'm jealous. I'm jealous. Why'd you have to go there?
A banter buddy, right? Like I push him, he pushes me. That the next level is around the corner. So it's really great to be able to have somebody who is a huge leader, and a great, just a pillar, literally a pillar of the community. And then we got Ralph.
Now go ahead.
He is. And he's been that way for a long time. Mark was on the very first Aftermarket show, and I'm talking when it was back on my channel when I first started. And Coach fell in love with the show and was like, hey, we're bringing that over here. You're coming on the payroll and we're bringing that over here. And Mark has been on. Ralph was another one. Hell, look, I got to give credit where credit's due. Ralph is part of the reason the Aftermarket exists. Okay, you don't know this, but it was me, Ralph, Christina, and another guy that used to be in here, another member that used to be in here by the name of Cox. Some of you OGs probably remember him. And we were talking in the Aftermarket Zoom one day, just everybody had kind of gone and we were chit-chatting, talking. And I had been doing my own reality TV show called, it was J&J Video Reacts, and I was reacting to 90 Day Fiance stuff. And I would have random people from ADT once I was kind of like, kind of becoming a little prominent in there, coming in the live, and hey, I'm like, oh, hey, old school, hey, Billy Z or whoever, and Mikey J, and hey, you guys, these are ADT, and I tell my audience, and I'm like, one day I'm going to do an ADT stream, you watch, right? And I kept saying that, and next thing you know, one night we're all talking, all four of us, and we're like, they're like, Dawn, yeah, you should do that, and then Cox says you should call it the Aftermarket because it's after the market. And Ralph was like, yeah, I'll come up there on the panel. And Christine was like, so will I. And Cox says, so will I. So we were the first four that graced the panel of the original Aftermarket show. And Mark McSee jumped in there. A couple other people would come in right from the jump and were mainstays for a long time. And then Coach brought it over here. And here we are pushing 2 years. August will be 2 years.
That's a long time that the show been going.
And 2 years since it was on ADT. It originally started in like right around maybe May, June of 23, and then Coach brought it over to his channel in August. So it's been 2 years since that August date. So it's really kind of been a little bit over 2 years since the show itself as a concept was brought out there. So Ralph, love you, brother, because you have been there for the entire journey of the Aftermarket. So. And to have you back on here, I love it.
Yeah, I think the Aftermarket came about. I think it was because so the group was getting bigger, and like when the group was smaller, we couldn't do like talking because whenever you trade in stocks, they have times whenever there's really nothing really running, right? And I guess some of the members were probably like, we talking too much, and and so it became an issue. So that's why we.
That's right. Oh my God.
You know,
Speaking about Lee, remember Lee? Lee was very
yeah,
you asked about him and the British guy. He was a bit of a hard ass. We loved him, but Lee did not like a lot of chit chat going on. And anytime chatter started happening, he would kind of lay down the law, and it kind of got almost too uptight. So it was like you couldn't even have any side conversations, and that's not us either. So it's like, look, we got to have some room to be ourselves in here. And I complained to Bruno, and a couple people were like, listen, it's a little too uptight. We're scared to just spit in there, you know? So I'm going to go ahead. We're going to create this show where people can come after the market and let loose and say whatever the fuck they want to say. Excuse my French.
Don, you calling in OGs?
Yes, I did.
What
yes,
is up?
I did, Gilly. What's happening, brother? It's been a minute.
Yeah.
You know I get withdrawals if I don't have you on this panel for after a while.
Damn right.
Come on.
This is the crew right here. Hell yeah.
For sure, you know. So it started out as that, and I'm glad that we kind of, we're sticking to that. And Coach has given me creative freedom over this to just allow it to grow and be what it is. And we just want to continue to have it grow. The more new members come in, the more new faces we're going to see on here, the more new things we're going to do. We'll play games, but we'll also do training. We're also going to keep it focused because at the end of the day, the bottom line is to make sure everybody's successful and that they have a place where they can come and just kind of, that was crazy today, right? One of those. So thank you guys for helping build it and maintaining it, right?
That's half the battle.
Yeah.
Gilly, where you been at?
I just consumed all the oxygen in the room. Sorry, guys. All I did was bullshit and keep flow going.
How's your dad, man?
Ralph, I'm in St. Louis.
Oh,
okay.
And everybody's talking shit about this place. I love this place.
What are you doing in St. Louis?
I'm working a lot.
Wow.
A lot. Anyway, so a block north of me is like NFL homes, mansions. I can flip this camera around if I ever figured it out. You'll see a Lambo, a Porsche, all the bullshit. And it was seconds. You'll see $100,000 cars everywhere in the traffic, and they're cussing at each other. I love St. Louis. It's nice down here.
Nice. Did you move?
Huh?
Did you move or you're just visiting?
No, fuck no, I'm working. No, I'm working. You know what I do? Fix hail damage on cars, and everything is just smoke.
Wow, that one.
Well, now
wow.
Oh yeah, this is insane. Here you go. Take a look at this one. That's like that's a war thing. I ain't fixing that crap.
I mean, Gilly, you must be on point. They must be calling you from where you're from to come do that.
Yeah, they call this little Nebraska boy. So when you do good work, word gets out, and I got a call like, "Hey, do you want to come run a body shop for a dealership?" I'm like, "You got to be shitting me, right? It's just a little old me." And the answer is yes. I'll be there in a minute. So
wow.
So I got called down here to run a body shop for a dealership, and it's very, very, very busy, and I love it. But
dude, that is awesome.
But it's not where my heart is.
Right.
You guys know where my heart is.
We do.
This is bullshit, but it's good money. I'll be back for damn sure. I can't wait to get a break and come back and sit in front of the computer. So that I'm looking forward to it.
Wow.
But don't know how.
Well, you can get a trade in.
Did we lose him?
I think we lost him.
We might have lost
Oh,
him.
there you go.
Oh, there he is. So I finally got him futures, right?
So I'm in a trade. I had to go to the other screen to check on it. I'm up $1,170.
What are you in?
I'm trading perpetual contracts on Solana crypto right now.
Oh, crypto.
Oh, that's what I was gonna tell you.
Wow.
Hey,
who the hell can say that? No one
right
even knows what the hell that is. I learned it at American Dream Trading. Nobody knows what that shit is. They just buy shares and hope it goes up. No, I'm shorting it, longing it, everything.
Gilly, you're right. I love futures, man.
Yeah, futures is good too.
Yeah.
Futures is a lot like crypto. You know, even the fees and all the bullshit are still there. But
Yeah.
crypto's got a little more, it's leveraged, and that's more fees. But yeah, you can go up to 150x leverage. So, you know, it's like trading SPX. So it's kind of cool.
Nice.
But I gotta, but whatever. I'm just glad I learned it. You know what? I don't give a shit if I use it or not. I'm glad I learned it.
Yeah,
Another
right?
tool.
And I'm using it right now.
Yeah.
I gotta flip back over to my screen here. Hold on.
Pebbles, good to see you.
What's up, Pebbles?
Hey, Pebbles. How you been, brother?
Oh, I'm doing okay. I just took off a few days to relax a little bit, but I'm
Good.
back. I traded today, and I was green, so
All
That's
right.
what's up.
with real money, so
Not
that's
bad.
better.
See, sometimes all you have to do is just take a step back and breathe.
Yeah.
You know, this will consume you if you let it. You got to take control of that. I'm glad you did that.
So it seemed like a pretty good day. I don't know if everything was up today, but
Yeah, everything seemed to be up. I know. All right. I slid over into IWM today too, and I made like $60.
Yeah.
I couldn't help it. I'm like,
was doing-
shit. If the Russell is doing this, that means IWM is running too.
That's
I
true.
might as well
That's
throw a
true.
couple of contracts in, right? Hey.
I mean, if you got the account and it's sitting there, I still trade. Hey, I still trade stocks. I'm in TQQQ.
Yeah.
I don't forget where I come from.
Yeah, I'm like, the hell
You know
with
what I'm
that.
saying?
And that means IWM is running. Let me throw $100 over there real quick, see if I can make a couple dollars off of IWM. I made like $60 and got out of it, because I wanted to watch what I was doing. So, but yeah,
I ain't mad at that.
never say never.
you're trading options then on the IWM.
I did. I bought 10 contracts and made $60 in like 5 minutes and got out of it.
That was a good job.
Yeah. So,
And then,
no, I was just gonna say we get taught all of it. So use the
Yeah,
skills. If you got the wherewithal
exactly.
to be able to trade all that different shit, then do it.
Right.
I'm like, I might throw a few dollars back in my cash account and trade a couple hot stock picks in the morning. I mean, it keeps you fresh, So and Ange talks about this all the time, practicing, practice with a few hot stocks. Why not? You know?
Yeah.
Keeps you
That's
sharp.
like the one thing that keeps me from like getting into crypto is I need to have balance. But I trade the crypto charts on the weekend for practice.
It should
there
just
you go.
up and down like anything else. It just, I'm sure it's a lot like futures. If you can zoom out a little bit, it's just like a lightning bolt. It goes up and then it goes down and then it goes up. Just you got to fight the fees. The fees are bullshit. Like it can go your direction forever, and it's like fee, and then you finally turn green, and that could be the time it turns around. It just it depends on how much greed you want out of it, how much leverage, and how many fees you want. But it's cool.
Yeah, I get it. And shout out to Chris and Bucko for the amazing job that they do on our crypto membership.
Oh yeah,
giving classes on the weekends and stuff. I look, Chris was joking at me because I said I wanted a basic class, and he's had 2 of them, and I've missed them. But I'll get over there at some point. You know what I mean? But just shout out to them for doing it.
They're the ones that showed me how to do it. I didn't know what a perpetual contract was. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
But no, I like crypto. There's a hell of a lot of people in it, but if you're trading contracts on crypto, it's a lot more exciting. So
it turns it into like almost like futures. I'm assuming
it's like trading options.
Yeah, don't they have to pay like fees every 4 hours or whatever the contract details are, something like that?
I don't think so, and I don't know everything. You'd have to ask Chris on all the details.
Yeah.
I'm just an idiot, and I can trade a chart going up and down. I do not know all the details.
Listen, at the end of the day, that's how most trading is. You know what I'm saying? If you can trade a chart is a chart is a chart.
And I don't want to stay in it any longer than I have to. But I mean, And actually, trading crypto can take a long damn time. I mean, it really does drag out for a long time. So it's nothing fast. It's not like SPY at 9:30 in the morning. So
Yeah.
know that you gotta watch paint dry for damn sure.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying I need 2 fidgets, one for each hand.
You may have to learn how to do them with your toes.
Oh my God, you're gonna look like some kind of ninja chick with these.
Yeah.
Especially the ones that look like that are like knives. Doesn't Mark have one of those? You have one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
But I like it. It's just one more thing. It's one more piece in my arsenal.
Yeah.
I was about to say, you're just adding up in that arsenal, aren't you?
Yeah, it's cool. I don't know, and I'm a crackhead anyway. I got to fidget with shit all the time. I just squirrel. But I want to learn as much as I can. I mean, we're part of a training company. Well, why not learn it all? Just get a taste.
Right.
You don't have to hammer it and perfect it, but just why not? Like, what are they doing over there? So
yeah.
Speaking of training, if we got any crypto traders out there and they struggling, they might want to join the crypto group. Bitcoin is back over there 100K.
Sure.
I think it was like 104. I don't know if it dropped or not, but you might want to train before you get into one of those perpetual water contracts.
Oh yeah, dude, and especially if you're really good at trading crypto, you need to check this out immediately.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the mosh pit. I love it.
Wow.
I'm a thrill seeker.
Now you're speaking my language.
Damn right.
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah, you're crying, you're laughing, you're crying, and like, oh shit, okay, and then it goes your way, and like, oh my god. Sound familiar?
Yeah, it does. Oh man.
Once it goes your way, it's just like, oh hell yeah. But like anything else, you got to stop loss and you lose. The hardest part is getting out of a losing trade. That is the hardest part of anything that we do.
Yeah, it is, man. One of the things against you be sitting there like, is it gonna come back? Is it gonna come back? You be like, man, you know what? I'm gonna cut it. Then as soon as you cut it, it goes up. Why didn't I just stay in there?
I know. It's so funny because I walked out of the room today and I was like, you didn't hear me, did you? And she's like, here you were. I'm like, oh, I was just cussing out this damn contract that I was in. Because I had one of those trades. I went on ahead and ripped the Band-Aid and boom, there it goes back up. I'm like, fuck, son of a
day trade trying to make fast dollars. You don't have to do anything.
Who's that?
Coach. Kim was listening to Coach's videos.
Dawn had a super sniper entry this morning. I was like, Lord.
I'd say.
She got hit right at the 9. Like, that was a hard trade to take, Dawn. I ain't gonna lie to you. What you did?
I channeled Mark is what I did. I'm like, I am Mark McSee. I can do this. It's the breaking hold of the 9.
Double like bottom. Soon as it went over the 9, cloud still red. Dawn was like, listen, I'm getting in this thing, and if you turn them out,
and then I got to VWAP and got the hell out of it because it started
Dawn, you waited through all of that. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna see if it's gonna go. I got in, I was like, yeah, Dawn, we get it. We in this now, Dawn. Like, I'm out. What you talking about?
Yeah, I got in it twice. I got in it under. I got out right as it was approaching VWAP because I didn't want to get hit with anything weird. And then I got in it after it broke and held VWAP. And then I rode it up to the top with you. And then it got to that blue line that I was talking about, and I got out of it. But then it went on. And then I'm 240 ticks. I'm 240 ticks.
Hey, I was up.
That is the best impression I've ever heard.
Listen, the reason why I stayed in like that.
Oh, why you get out of it? I'm like, God damn.
I asked Edge what to put my stop at, and I ain't gonna lie, that first pullback, if had I not had it right there, Edge, it would have took me out. But Ange was like, put it, because I usually have it in between the 21 and the 9. And Ange was like, I come a little bit under a 9. That's what I did. And when that big pull down come, I was like, shoot, I blinked and it was down there already. I was like, well, it's down here now. What I'm gonna do? And then it started to find support and then went back up.
I don't know, man, because you were
So
starting to
shout out
sound starting to sound like Christine there for a minute. It'll come back up. It'll come back. I'm like, oh Lord.
Well, no, I had it.
I'm
locked
like, pull the Band-Aid off, man. Take the profit. Oh man, that was
It
a
was
crazy
a good day today. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. Mark went left, made money while he was gone, came back, made money, and spanked the market. We had Doug in there talking about it and Coach this morning. I mean, it was a really cool day.
I just made 1271 in the last 30 minutes.
Now, are we talking $12 or $1,200?
Hey, what do you think?
Knowing you, $1,200.
I made 12 cents, bitches. No. Hell no. You paid $1,271 in the last
nice.
30, 40
Gilly.
Remember that time Gilly did that with Amazon and we all sat there and watched it? He got it. He was like, oh, I don't know. And he just like sat in it and it went out. Yeah, I'm about like $1,200.
It's certain times when you just land the awesome trades. Those are the best. Everything else is stress.
Nice.
Those good ones. Damn, they're good.
Solana contracts.
That's when
this Solana is making a splash. Everybody, Solana, that's all I hear anymore.
That's the chart that I practice on.
Yeah, you're the first place I heard it.
Solana hauls ass. That's why.
Oh, that
Bitcoin is like a turtle, with a turn signal on. It doesn't do shit. But if you're in Solana watching Bitcoin, it's just wee.
Wow.
And if you're 100x leveraged, that's good stuff. That is good.
How much is the contract?
Well, it's not really. I don't understand it. It's not like a contract. It's not like 100 shares and you sell a contract. And, it's not like that. I don't understand quite how it works. You put a dollar amount in, you pay a fee, and then you can adjust the leverage anywhere from, you don't have to have leverage at all. You can go zero, but like Solana, you can go from 0 to 100x leverage. I mean, you've traded 3x leverage stocks all the time, triple leverage. You hear about that all the time. This shit can go 100x. So it's pretty awesome. So, but just put in a dollar amount and pick what leverage you want. And other than that, it's finding support and resistance and, trending channels and just like anything else.
Yeah.
But it's fees. It's always the fees. The more money you have in there, you have so many goddamn fees. You click the button and you're down $350 just to be in it. It's just like, and if you're way leveraged in where the fees are so high, if it goes against you, you're just like, you want to vomit. The leverage is for news. Leave that shit alone until it's time. But you can practice with like a 20x leverage. You'll be fine. I mean, you guys have played contracts before. You know what you're doing. So like a 20x, that's fine. Then you don't have all the bullshit fees the second you click the button.
Right.
And I don't understand how all of it works, but I know enough. I mean, I'm making money doing it, so whatever.
Sweet.
But the more money you have in there, the more the fees, and it's just like, this is bullshit. You almost need to be the one collecting the fees.
Yeah.
Shit, if it goes up or down, if you're collecting,
be on the other side of that shit.
Yeah, if you're the house wins, no matter what. So
right.
That's where we all need to be.
Well, that's what Coach is always saying about cover calls with options. Cover calls and cash secure puts, you're the house at that point, when you're owning all that stock. But yeah.
And crypto's 365 24/7, I mean,
even on Christmas Day.
and them goddamn fees.
That's why.
just try it out. The fees suck. The fees are terrible.
Yeah.
If it goes your direction, you're good. But I'd love to have them fees. Damn, even fees from 200 people would be fine, let alone 20 million.
So you like the trading with the leverage way better than just trading like crypto futures in the futures market. You like that better, or you like?
Well, I'm a thrill seeker. I get
Yeah.
bored. I don't want to.
Yeah, he's adrenaline junkie.
I don't want to make $8, so I'll lose 700 rather than settle for $8.
Yeah.
I'm kind of an idiot that way, but
dude, I love that about you. Though,
that's where it's
You're
more
a renegade.
important. That's where it's more important about charting. You have to chart. You got to do it. And I'm doing it on a cell phone, and it sucks ass. I don't recommend it to anybody. Cell phones absolutely suck.
I don't even do that, and I trade on my phone.
You put it on a computer, and it is huge. On a cell phone, you're looking at candle after candle, and it just it is what it is.
There go Bucko right there. Speaking of the crypto mods.
Hey, Bucko.
Yeah, there's the man right there.
Yeah.
Bucko, you should come on up here and talk about it.
Yeah, explain it. You explain it better than I can.
What
Tell
is
us
it?
about
What are
Solana.
these called again? You do?
What's that?
What are they called again?
Perpetual contracts.
Yeah. I be seeing it all over like trading view and stuff, the perpetual charts. I see that word a lot.
I've never even heard of it until a couple months ago, and then Chris and Bucko trained me on it, and it's pretty cool. I didn't even know it existed.
I knew they had a way to trade it with leverage, but I gotta get the training first. I gotta come to the watch some of the crypto videos, and I gotta get trained. But
cool. It is cool. I like it. And you can trade right now. You can trade 5 hours from now. Who gives a shit? Trade whenever you want.
Mm-hmm.
Bucko, you got any grapes? Get your buns up here.
But crypto is actually kind of flying right now. I wouldn't doubt it.
It is. It's going
Bitcoin
up like crazy.
I bet Bitcoin goes to 250,000. In the next year.
I wonder what XRP is the other one everybody be raving about.
Oh yeah, everybody's like, oh, it's going to $10,000, and it might. I don't know shit about that. I have no idea. But Bitcoin is very, very, very just massive. It's huge.
Mm-hmm.
And now our country's involved in it. So strategic reserve. You think they're gonna have a couple $100 in there, or 50 trillion. So it's Bitcoin is huge. It is very, very massive, and I don't think it's anywhere close to being done. I bet we see 250,000.
Wow,
that's saying something. That thing is a monster.
That's what people say.
because it was a big thing when it hit 100K. So
it is back above 100 now. Is it? Bitcoin quietly rallied. Between
I see XRP is back up in the $2 range. It was down in the dollars.
Yeah, it's been slowly moving up. I guess it's just been, quietly going up. Bitcoin have. Yeah.
It's a monster.
Mm-hmm.
It's a snowball. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Damn thing's just gonna keep getting bigger.
Nice.
Oh.
Well.
Yeah, I'm gonna take off. It's good to see every one of you guys. I'm never leaving. You're never getting rid of my stupid ass.
Yay!
I'm like herpes. You can't get rid of me.
That's all we need to know, man. You stop it whenever you want. That's all we need to know.
Yeah,
I'm like, pissed off at us. Where's Gilly? You know what I mean?
I gotta go to work for a little while. I'm gonna be down here probably I don't know, 2 or 3 months maybe. I don't know. But by the time I get home, I'll be just fine. So
make that money, honey.
Damn right.
Keep us posted.
Yeah, and I'm a whore. I'm an absolute whore. So when there's money in front of me, I'm doing it. I want to make a lot of it.
I know that's right. So you can have more for your playground.
Yeah, right. Well, I don't want to do this shit forever.
We all want to know though. What Winston? Who got Winston? Winston is at home.
He's at home. And I hate leaving the family. Being on the road sucks ass. And if
Yeah.
I'm on the road, I better be making a shit ton of money to make it worth it. Because otherwise, I hate being on. I don't care what
Yeah.
anybody says. It's nice. It's kind of fuck is that? St. Louis is nice. In a couple weeks, it's cool around here. You can go exploring and whatever. But no, I miss being home for sure.
Yeah.
My dogs, my wife, kids, all of it. I miss it all. Being on the road sucks ass. And you guys, I don't even get to see you guys. I haven't been on here for a month and a half.
I know.
So
yeah, it's
It is.
noticeable when you're not here. So
yeah, it is what it is. But yeah,
you gotta do what you gotta do, brother.
Make a little nest egg, and I'll be back for sure.
Yeah.
So,
Sweet. Well, thanks for popping on.
yeah, you're welcome. It's good to see every one of you.
You too. Until the next time. And
Right.
look,
Yeah,
Mark,
man.
you got Mark doing the Irish goodbyes on the live. You notice how he's been doing that, right?
He's
Yes,
doing
I
that
do.
every day.
Every time.
Yeah, he'll play some sound effects or be in the middle of a sentence and then just cut the shit. You know what I mean? I'm like, no, he didn't do that again. I'm like, I was getting ready to say something. Huh?
Yep, that's
I'm gonna
exactly how it
do
was.
that in the VIP. I'm gonna when I go in the afternoon and I share in the VIP, I'm gonna do that.
Oh my God, and just stop
Why?
sharing. Where'd she go? Where'd the screen go?
Things ended. It's 3:00. We're done.
Yeah, right.
Bye.
Anybody that wants to hang on after 4:00, you're shit out of luck.
Mm-hmm.
But guys, thanks for being on here. Everybody down there in the chat, I love your faces. Thank you for coming. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being transparent.
Yeah.
And yeah, I love your faces. We'll end with Coach's rules like we normally do. Don't forget to use your stops. Don't forget to get some rest. Right?
Yeah.
Anybody want to say anything else before we get out of here?
Bye, guys.
Finish up the week strong and green.
Yes, Ralph. Preach.
Peace and blessings, y'all.
Yep.
See ya!
Going to that weekend.
Please follow the rules. Nobody go rogue. Some of the rules that we have to and live and die by in here is do not lose more than 1 to 3% of your total account value in any given day. Make sure you have stop losses on each and every trade, regardless of shares and or options. Make sure you guys are practicing small base hits. Don't go for home runs. Allow the runners to run and stop out the losers. If you're a new trader, make sure you are paper trading using a simulated trading system such as Webull or some of the other ones that are out there. If you are an expert trader, please make sure you also are being careful the first 3 minutes and the last 8 to 9 minutes of the day. Those are the absolute most volatile times in the entire market. Also, if you're a newer trader, please don't trade in the first 30 minutes or the last hour of the day. Those are the most dangerous times.